guys, it's TeenFest team reporter here, Jillian Bryant, and today we're with Damarcus Harris, and he was the first place winner of TeenFest 2011. And I'll ask him a few questions. So the first one is, what made you want to perform singing and spoken word?
It got influenced by a couple of people. You know, I kind of figured it was the way to go after a couple of trials and a couple of experiences.
And why do you perform drug-free and violence-free messages?
To let the community know that somebody out there is trying to be a role model for them, and that's the positive way.
And what impact do you want to make on your audiences?
I want them to feel that, you know, what I'm saying is what I mean from the heart.
And how long have you been performing?
I say about 3 or 4 years now.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Musician, rapper, singer.
And what was the moment when you knew that spoken word and singing was your call?
Roughly last year. I kind of been doing it for years, new for me, but you know, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, so is there anything else you want to say to TeenFest TV?
I would just like to thank y'all for your time and just for having me here to let the community hear some words from a genuine person. Thank you.
Thank you. This was Damarcus Harris, first place winner of TeenFest 2011, and this is Jillian Bryant, TeenFest team reporter here.
On the goose, got you feeling loose, blame it on the throne, got you in the zone, blame it on the But why blame it on the alcohol? After all, the song isn't the reason for you choosing the path that's wrong. Sipping and drinking away until the glass is gone. And my question is, where? Where is the mind that we all used to possess that tells us smoking isn't the real way to relieve stress? It only prevents our ability to finesse an endless amount of teenage mothers not putting marriage before sex. Guys not realizing how easily an STD can infect their bodies and didn't expect that girl to have it even when she didn't take that test. This tension and stress eliminates the liberty for our hearts and minds to gain rest. And the question that remains is, what happened to the respect? Just listen as that young person takes his last breath. Failing to breathe because he's intoxicated or passed out from high levels of intoxication due to shots and cases of talking with the voice box after that recent operation, or shot by a Glock after an issue that was gang block related. Who would have thought that the world is full of so many obligations? Homeless people who lost their places, and those behind bars who lost their cases, and looks of regret, shame, and hurt on the faces of different doctors' patients. Teens making bad decisions because dream killers told them they're not the greatest. Loss of love, family, and compassion, which leads to the formation of gangs. So a guy thinks he's cool because he's changing his name and playing a game with his life. That young girl screaming, play it again, all because Trey Songz told her, the neighbors know my name. When you be screaming, scratching, yelling, but the neighbors know my name, and they be stressing while we... But now that she's sexually active, the neighbors know her name, her name, her name. Where is the leader who stood strong because he wouldn't settle to be defeated? Society hating education, no respect for our teachers, mentally enslaved by the influence and drugs which we allow to beat us. And the preacher just puts his head down because nobody's taking spiritual peace to the head now. Members went from being saints to being bloodhounds. That's the reason our environment is infested with thugs now. This madness tramples all over our innocent minds, bodies, and souls, and affects this population as a whole, which puts our people in a mode that causes an inability for us to be bold. It's so cold. But not even the literal weather condition, just the feeling when you have your head in a system that allows all types of religion, fails to prevent submission. Certain ones wishing to do it over, regretting bad decisions, did anything just to fit in. Smiles turn to frowns when we realize the reality that we live in. The artist realizes that this stage isn't the only area with competition, but that every day and everywhere he constantly faces opposition. So his words are offered as a proposition to end these hot statistics and numbers of those convicted of sick tricks. Words cannot explain the storm or the tears in our eyes. We need God, because otherwise this world puts fears in our lives. Violence, disease spreads, and bad news is what we're hearing all the time. Adolescents only within inches of the line of danger because of sex and committing all these crimes. Where's the society who kept God and peace nearest in their mind? Living painful while we living, steady making bad decisions. Where, oh, where did that society go?